You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I find the timing of the report from Sam Kaiser very, very interesting because this is coming after Syracuse basketball added Tyler Betsey, a small forward from Cincinnati. If you recall, that was a move that they made just a couple of days ago, and he projects to be the backup small forward for Syracuse basketball right behind Nate Kings from Oregon State. And just to tease a future podcast, which is actually going to be coming tomorrow, Tuesday, May 6th, we're going to have on 24/7 Sports Syracuse insider Mike McAllister, and I will ask him about Paul Djobet and whether or not they're going to maybe get Paul Djobet, and also that includes Tyler Betsey, who they already got, or if this was one of those situations where it was one or the other. Syracuse chose Tyler Betsey, and that's that with a guy like Paul Djobet. So I'll definitely ask him about it. But as of right now, maybe Syracuse does, in fact, add both players. Let's go over the team depth with a guy like Paul Djobet. If he were to commit to Syracuse, given that he is 6'7", I think he would be a small forward for Syracuse, but technically he's listed as a guard. So he could probably play the two as well, as one of the bigger two guards in the ACC, right? The shooting guard spot with a guy like Paul Djobet is pretty easy to figure out. You got J.J. Starling as your starter. Duh. You got Kyan Anthony as your backup. Duh. Paul Djobet is your three. And then Bryce Zephyr, the Montana State transfer. Again, like I said so many times on the mini podcast, we talked about him earlier on this offseason. He's more of a roster filler for Syracuse. And if you get a guy like Paul Djobet, that just shows you even more that a guy like Bryce Zephyr probably isn't going to see the floor unless it's an emergency or it's at the end of a game and you need someone to play when Syracuse is up or down 20 with a minute to go. So why not a guy like Bryce Zephyr, right? Then you got the small forward rotation here. And unless Syracuse makes another big splash in the transfer portal, and we could talk about one that they could technically make coming up later on in this show, because a certain guy just became available again, has a Syracuse connection, you might be able to connect the dots with what I just said. But I don't think they will make another big splash, particularly at that position, small forward. So it's probably going to be Nate Kings. Nate Kings from Oregon State, who shot nearly 45% from the three-point line, is going to be your starting small forward on opening night for Syracuse basketball, unless there's some sort of injury or someone just takes the job for him in training camp, which I guess could happen. Your backup, Tyler Betsey, the Cincinnati forward, and then Paul Djobet would be your three. And Aaron Womack, the three-star recruit, I don't think he's going to see that much time on the floor next season, more of a developmental guy. He would be the fourth small forward on Syracuse's roster. I'll be honest with you, I don't know who right now is better between Tyler Betsey and Paul Djobet. I think Tyler Betsey certainly has more upside because he's a former top 50 high school recruit in the 2024 recruiting class. And he would probably begin the season as the backup small forward to a guy like Nate Kings. And it should be noted, Paul Djobet, he does not have the same pedigree as Tyler Betsey. He was a 3-star recruit out of high school, and he's also a 3-star rated transfer. Tyler Betsey, high-end 4-star recruit out of high school, and also still a 4-star transfer somehow, but he is a 4-star transfer technically. So there's more upside with Tyler Betsey. However, if Betsey doesn't take a significant step forward in his development and he remains a similar player to what he was last season, which was 32% from the three-point line, 27% from the three-point line in conference play, not exactly a good defender either, then I could see a guy like Paul Djobet becoming the backup small forward because at least, even in a short sample, he has shot the ball well from the three-point line, nearly 40% for his career. So Betsey offers more upside as your backup small forward, but Paul Djobet might be a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more proven for that spot.